If you're a Final Fantasy fan and you were watching the Game Awards last night, Christmas came early. Not only did we get a brand new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer, we also got the announcement of the Final Fantasy XVI DLCs, and a shadow drop for the DLCs, which I am going to be playing later. However, it seems like we also got a ton more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth news from the Square Enix blog. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because there is so much Final Fantasy news coming, and this is the channel that brings you all of it the moment that it happens. So we have a brand new Square Enix blog post. This is the reveal of the theme song and the reveal of Vincent and Cid, as well as the reveal of what looks to be Aerith's death scene. And they are teasing it hardcore in this brand new trailer. But here is what they've had to say in the blog. We're back with a brand new preview of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and this time, it's as much a treat for the ears as it is for the eyes. It is always a treat for the ears because they always have great music in the trailers. Firstly, we're excited to reveal our brand new trailer, which debuted at the Game Awards 2023, alongside a dazzling live performance featured by vocalist Lauren Alred. Take a look and listen with the extended theme song trailer here. The new song, titled No Promises to Keep, was written by the legendary Nobuo Uematsu. Jeff Keighley kind of butchered his name during the presentation. He called him like Nobuo Utamatsu or something like that, and I was like, Jeff, what are you doing?
The greatest video game composers of all time, the legendary Nobuo Uematsu.
Kojima didn't teach you any Japanese? The composer for the original Final Fantasy VII. It's performed by Lauren Alred, the renowned platinum artist who captivated the world with her single Never Enough from The Greatest Showman. Fantastic movie, great music, loved it. The trailer features lots of new details about the game, including the first appearance of the courageous pilot Cid Highwind, a proper look at Vincent Valentine, and the return of beloved characters Marlene and Biggs. It's a whirlwind tour, so let's slow things down and take a closer look at some of these reveals. Okay, so let's take a look at regions of the world. First of all, we have the Gold Saucer here, location that everyone has been waiting for since this thing was first announced. Okay, I'm gonna move myself right here just so that we can look at the picture and read at the same time. Referred to as the Gilded Paradise, the Gold Saucer is a resplendent amusement park on an epic scale. It is divided into 7 areas called squares, each with their own unique attractions. One such is the Sky Wheel, which takes guests above the Gold Saucer for an unforgettable view of the park, and has proven to be a popular date spot. As you guys know, Gold Saucer dates are returning in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, including the canon option of romancing Barrett. Then we have Coral Prison, a sprawling slum that infests the base of the Gold Saucer. It's almost as if the saucer's glimmering facade acts a beacon for the vagabonds and ne'er-do-wells the world over, as they have flocked there in droves. So dangerous is the Dust Bowl, Coral Prison's slightly kinder sobriquet, that those who enter its limits are said to never return. Then if we scroll down, we have new characters, and we have Vincent Valentine, and he is looking great. This is the best looking appearance of Vincent Valentine ever. There is absolutely no question. They have designed a lot of the armor pieces on his pants, and pretty much all the golden armor pieces have been redone, but they look a lot better now, and they still ultimately resemble the original style while looking just tremendously better. This is the best he's ever looked, and we can actually get a good look at his face here. Again, he looks great. It just doesn't get any better than this. With him saying, a self-proclaimed security guard who hibernates in a coffin deep below Shinra Manor. This man of mystery is swathed in a red cape and boasts the genes of a monster, as well as a hidden connection to Sephiroth. That's right, because he's Sephiroth's actual dad. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't actually believe that. Though it would be funny if they did retcon that, because that's like a popular fan theory from way back. Next, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Cid Highwind, and we are going to drink our tea. Cid, again, looks phenomenal. I mean, this is really good. I mean, he just straight up crawled out of my imagination yet again for how Cid should look like. I just don't think it gets much more accurate than this. He looks exactly right. Them saying, quote, this rogue pilot of reputable skill runs a shuttle service out of various abandoned airstrips. After Cloud and company flag him down, he flies them around the globe in his beloved Tiny Bronco. Again, that Tiny Bronco will be returning in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Super exciting. Cannot wait for that moment. Now, this is a character that I personally have been waiting to see appear in the Final Fantasy VII Re-trilogy, Dyne. The scene with Dyne and Barrett in the original game is incredibly heavy. It's very well done. It's one of those moments I think back on for Final Fantasy VII that is a very Final Fantasy VII moment. It's also a moment that I think is carried with such a weight and direction that separates it a lot from contemporary JRPG. The way that whole scene is done, the tension behind it, the motivations, it's really good. Here is what they have to say. Dyne was once Barrett's close friend, back when the two used to make their living in the coral mines of Corel. Now he is a wanted man with a gun grafted to his left arm, and his current whereabouts are unknown. Having this scene play out, voice acting, and modern day cinematography, this is going to be a very intense, emotional roller coaster ride. Then we have the most important character in Final Fantasy VII. Nobody else even comes close. It is Dio. And they have spent like an obnoxious amount of time on Dio's physique here. I mean, holy crap, guys, look at this. He is built of just muscle and layers of muscle, and someone sat there in like ZBrush and they like sculpted every single every single striation and separation and feather, and they just made him so detailed, and the chest hair and the arm hair, it's it's very, 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 very detailed, like insanely so. The amount of work that they put into this one model is impressive, to say the least. Here is what they had to say. Charismatic owner of the Gold Saucer, famous for his brawny physique and handlebar mustache, Dio is often found participating in his park's parades, flexing his muscles before the throngs of screaming guests. Dr. Sheeran. Though his clinic in North Coral may be small, Dr. Sheeran's heart and intellect are anything but. Lately, he has been caring for the Black Road figures that have been stumbling into town and is attempting to uncover the truth behind their mysterious illness. Then we have Solemn Gus, the sleazy kingpin of Coral Prison. Gus is a flamboyant. Then we have Solemn Gus, the sleazy kingpin of Coral Prison. Gus is as flamboyant as he is smooth talking. Add that to a healthy dose of showmanship, and it's little wonder that the dregs of the Dust Bowl have flocked to him. Gold teeth and a gold chain. Then we got Terrier Timeline Biggs, and holy crap, dog, look at this guy. He is like just peak Chad, dude. I mean, and he really looks like Charlie Sheen. You guys thought he looked like Charlie Sheen before. I mean, Jesus, this is anime Charlie Sheen. 100%. We know this is Terrier Timeline Biggs from the trailer. And what's also interesting too is that Beagle Timeline Biggs is last shown in a coma. So he's still sleeping. This other Biggs is awake. And we have that parallel a lot. Cloud is like in his Mako coma still, while the Cloud in the Beagle timeline is awake. Aerith in the Beagle timeline is awake, but then Aerith in the Terrier timeline is in a coma. So this is a common theme. And it almost kind of reminds me of this whole idea of rebirth in reverse. For those of you who don't know, in Japanese, rebirth and reverse sound pretty similar. And when you write them in katakana, it's the exact same way. This theme has been used before in games such as Kingdom Hearts. In Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, you also have rebirth/reverse, which is where you would see Riku's side of the story. It's a theme that Tetsuya Nomura likes quite a lot, and ultimately one that I'm not too surprised to see here. Here's what they have to say about Biggs. After surviving the fall of the Sector 7 Plate, Biggs awoke to find that he is the last remaining of the ill-fated anti-Shinra rebels Avalanche. Having recovered from his injuries, he now seeks revenge against the company that murdered his comrades, all of which of course we do see play out within the trailer. But I have a feeling that Biggs is going to be one of the more interesting characters in Rebirth for sure. Next we have the synergy attacks. Again, this is probably the gameplay feature that excites me the most when we talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I love team attacks, and I even more love the fact that the team attacks level up as a result of you forging better bonds with your teammates. This is actually something that I've kind of been pushing for Final Fantasy to do, is have this bond system with your party. I like to make choices that allow you to grow closer to them. I've been pushing this for a really, really long time, and I am so happy to see that Rebirth is going to be the first major Final Fantasy game to adopt this system. Saying synergy attacks are powerful, in which two characters team up to turn the tide of battle. More abilities will unlock as you increase the party level, a numerical expression of how closely knit your team is, and deepen the affinity between party members. Fill the synergy gauge by using abilities, then unleash a synchronized assault. Here are a few examples. So Cloud and Aerith at the Firework Blade, and that's also really cool. Looks like Aerith kind of charges your sword up, and then you're able to, you know, shoot beams. Tifa and Kate Sith also have a synergy attack, and yeah, I think that that's also really awesome. We have the summons here too. Combat summon. Setting summon materia will grant you access to the power of the gods. A conjure deity will lead your fight and to fight enemies automatically, and you can also instruct them to use special abilities. Before they depart the battlefield, summons will unleash one final attack that will wreak immense havoc. You know what I'm kind of wondering about this game is that in the first game, Final Fantasy VII Remake, you couldn't just use summons anywhere. It had to be in a specific boss fight. But now what I'm wondering here is that can you just use summons out on the overworld map? One of the reasons that it was like that in the first game is because, you know, you had certain size limitations. You couldn't always, you know, summon in every single area. You know, imagine summoning a really big summon and you're in like this small corridor. It just wouldn't work. So I'm wondering now if you're just going to be allowed to freely summon wherever you want. Again, Titan looks really cool in this. It says here that Titan excels both at powerful melee strikes and area of effects attacks, such as Boulder Hurl. Upon leaving the battlefield, Titan unleashes Earth Fury, calling forth giant pillars of rock from deep within the earth. This imposing magic attack harnesses the power of nature to cleave your enemy's resolve. Then we have Bahamut Arisen, and this looks so cool. They say a massive dragon covered in resplendent red scales. It cuts off any possible escape routes with its lightning quick speed and decimates its enemies with both sharp claws and a veritable arsenal of weaponry. Bahamut Arisen excels at attacking in rapid succession, but can also obliterate foes with charged magic attacks from its limbs. Once its umbral bombardment lands, it releases 2 orbs of magic that fan out and annihilate all surrounding enemies. Again, awesome, very cool looking. When it leaves the battlefield, Bahamut Arisen activates Giga Flare, an extremely potent attack that sees the dragon unleash beams of magic from its wings and maw, burning any nearby foes alive. Next we have Phoenix. Look at Joshua, a bird possessed of exquisite beauty and wings of brilliant flame. Phoenix not only flies about the battlefield assailing foes with its blistering hot attacks, but it also heals the party's wounds. Phoenix looks so cool. In addition to engulfing enemies in its flame with its wings of wildfire, Phoenix can grant buff with healing effects. It can also revive incapacitated allies and fully recover their HP with a rise, allowing them to return to the front line and continue the fight. Phoenix is going to be incredibly crucial for extremely difficult boss fights. When it departs the field of battle, Phoenix unleashes Rebirth Flame, which recovers the party HP and spells a fiery death for any foes within its wide range. A single feather falls from Phoenix's wings, enveloping the battle in burning flames, after which the bird rises from the cinders to deal the final blow. Then we have Relationship, Bonds of Friendship. So again, you're going to be able to pick from dialogue options, and those sorts of options that you choose will impact the bonds that you have with the characters, which will lead to things like the Gold Saucer date, as well as various team attacks unlocking. And this is something, again, chef's kiss, love it. Been pushing for this for ages. Cloud's actions and the way he responds to other party members while conversing with them will affect his relationship with them. With a strong enough bond, they may even reap some of the benefits. So whenever you're faced with a decision, you might want to think hard before responding, especially if it concerns your favorite character. And then this is all of the different Golden Saucer dates that you can go on, but this is the one that you want to go on. And then we have Loveless, a theatrical production based on the classic poem Loveless. It depicts a hero's fight against the Dragon King, the tyrannical ruler of the Guardia, as well as his love for Princess Rosa. And then we have Jesse, who many people thought to be alive from the look of the trailer. Unfortunately, it seems this isn't the case. Thanks to the latest VR technology, the Gold Saucer's Golden Theater brings this play to life like never before. So it's hinted that this isn't a living Jesse playing this. Depending on your relationship with fellow theater goers, person playing Rosa may even change, along with parts of the script. Oh, that's interesting. So then, could Tifa potentially play Rosa? And then would the song change? Could Barret potentially be Rosa? That would be awesome. Or Yuffie. Again, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to warrant so many playthroughs. This is awesome. Then we have new screenshots, and most of these are pretty much directly from the trailer we already saw. I don't think that there's really anything new here that's like, I love this. Final Fantasy X-2. Let's go. This is great. The goats also, they've really put like an insane amount of work into this game. It's like, it's ridiculous. And again, if you have a PS4 or PS5 save file, you'll get Leviathan. And if you have a intermission save file, you'll get Rama. You guys, Final Fantasy news is not slowing down anytime soon. We're only going to get more headed into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We still have the Final Fantasy 16 DLC and a ton of other unannounced things that are still probably coming. Final Fantasy IX remake. So please be excited. And if you appreciate everything I do here on the channel, consider becoming a channel member. You can do this by clicking the join button below. I also have a Patreon available with a link in the description below. Shout out to the Spidey Slayer and the rest of the Ultima community.